Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we're going to make this 2-color waterfall glitter ombre with some stripes. We're going to start out with a 32-ounce plump from the Still Magnolia, and I'm going to grab my tumbler tool from Cami Page Boutique. There is a little flap on the side that when you stand the tumbler straight up, if you mark off where that flap is, it will give you a perfect line to be a guide to get a straight vinyl wrap. So I know I usually trim mine prior to adding on, line it up with the top rim, and that is what normally helps me, but I'm always trying to do it different ways so I can show you other options and you can find what works best for you. I just trimmed off some of the excess so I wouldn't have so much of an overhang, and then took away about 1/4 inch of the backing off of my pattern vinyl, and then I'm going to line it up just perfect with the line that I made on my tumbler, not really being concerned about the overhang on the top and the bottom of the tumbler. I'm going to wrap that all the way around, pressing out any of the bubbles underneath my vinyl. And I normally don't have any issues with vinyl wraps, but this one here, for whatever reason, gave me a lot of trouble. But the good thing is this is a removable vinyl from Gracefully Created, so it makes it a whole lot easier to remove and press back down if you have any kind of issues. Once I've made it all the way around, I'm going to take a piece of painter's tape and put it right down the center of that seam so we can create a nice crisp line. Take my craft knife straight down the side of that painter's tape and remove the excess vinyl on the top and underneath. After that, I'm going to make sure that my vinyl is pressed down really well all over the tumbler, especially on the rims. If you have any overhang, just pull it over the edge so it will be nice and flat on the bottom for you to trim off the excess. And to do so, I'm going to use the half spacer from Cami Page Boutique and the vinyl trimmer tool. Just put my tumbler on top of this and spin it around. Just be sure that you don't put your tumbler on the side edge so it doesn't scratch your vinyl. Focus on keeping it on the blade part of this tool. Once we have our top and bottom rim trimmed, I am going to add on our shape tape from ARTISTRY EPOXY. This is a double-sided tape. It is a little longer than typical, so I'm just going to trim off that excess on the bottom so it will fit on my little vinyl slicer, and then we're going to trim 1 centimeter strips to go all the way around the tumbler. Since our pattern vinyl that we're using is removable, I'm also going to cut a strip of this to the exact same size so I can use it as a spacer as I'm placing down the double-sided tape. I'm going to remove the backing from the double-sided tape, leave one side of that protective layer on there, and the very first one I'm going to put directly over the seam so it looks like a seamless design. I'm not worried about taking these all the way up to the top. Actually, I'm avoiding that Since we are going to be doing a glitter ombre down from the top of this tumbler, there's no concern of having to go up, and it helps us avoid some extra sanding since these are going to stand out from the tumbler with some glitter on them. Once I made it all the way around the tumbler, I am going to trim off that excess on the bottom. Make sure that they are pressed down really well, so whenever we apply pressure to our glitter to pat it down and rub the glitter in, it's not going to pull up any of our double-sided tape. I'm going to grab my vinyl weeding tool. This has a needle point tip on it, so it makes it really easy to remove the top of our double-sided tape. I'm going to remove all of that, and then we're going to grab Huntress from PDB Creative Studio and just dump it all over this tumbler. It's going to stick to the double-sided tape and not to our vinyl. This vinyl is matte, so if you are using a glossy vinyl, prior to adding on your shape tape or double-sided tape that you use, I do suggest coating it with a matte clear spray so you take away that glossiness and your glitter is not going to stick to your vinyl. Again, that's only if you are using a glossy vinyl. I would go over with a matte clear coat. That will prevent any glitter bits sticking to your vinyl. After I had all my glitter on, I just went all over the tumbler and sort of rubbed that into the double-sided tape. I have tried many different kinds of the double-sided tape, and this one in particular from Artistry has the most adhesion or stickiness to it, so it really grabs a hold of that glitter. and I can, you know, rub that excess off and pat the glitter down so that I can avoid doing too many coats of epoxy. I grabbed my COLORFLEX glitter glue and went around that bottom rim only up to where the edge of our vinyl is so that we can also glitter the bottom. Since we used some glitter glue, I allowed that to dry for 2 hours, sealed this 3 times with a matte clear coat, and then gave it 2 coats of epoxy or until it was smooth. I have sanded this tumbler to make it extra smooth, and then I'm gonna go around the top with the COLORFLEX black paint so that we can sort of camouflage the top of those stripes in and help our glitter cover that up better at the top. I want it to sort of peek through as that waterfall ombre goes down the tumbler, but at the top I really want to conceal it to make it look more just solid glitter. I'm going in with about 1.5 milliliters of Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set. This fast set dries incredibly quick, so I will be able to quickly move into spray sealing this and into my final coats of epoxy. I'm just going over with a mega thin layer. Once I have on my epoxy, the first glitter color we are going to use is Psycho from PDB Creative Studio. This is going to be at the top, and honestly, I wish that I would have taken this color down a little bit further. It was really beautiful, and I thought that I had added on more than I guess what I actually did. But then when I added in Huntress to blend into our stripes, it sort of took away from Psycho a little bit, and this is a really gorgeous glitter color. I went heavy around the rim and then held my tumbler at an angle while very gently sprinkling on the glitter to allow it to fall down the top portion of this tumbler. I knocked off any excess of Psycho, and then we're going in with Huntress, first sprinkling that into the Psycho, holding the tumbler at an angle, and then I tilted it the other way so it could fall down into our stripes and look like they blend very well together. Once you have all that glitter on, just grab something. I had a glove laying around. I just grabbed that so I can pat down the chunky bits of the glitter at the top portion of the tumbler. I gave this about 3 hours to dry, spray sealed it, and then went in with 2 final coats of Artistry's 1:1 ratio fast set epoxy. No lie, I was trying to get this together for y'all quickly, so I did forget to record that final coat of epoxy I normally do. And here is the final result. I really feel like this does need a decal or something. It's not one of my favorites I have made, but I do really love how that waterfall ombre just blends so well with those stripes at the bottom. I hope that y'all have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions at all, just drop them in the comments below. Of course, all the materials that I used in this tutorial will be listed in the description, along with some coupon codes for you. The holidays are right around the corner and we have lots of things coming out that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you are part of our Brittany Barnes Boutique Tumbler Art Facebook group and are subscribed to our YouTube channel so you stay up to date and don't miss a thing. That is all for today. Thank you all so much and we will see you next time.